Huh?
We're over here tapping in with KWJT, Puget Sound from space. I'm over here with Corey. You're tapping in with Tavares and sliding with Solana. All right, KWJT, you already know what the fuck going on, man. Whole lot of groovy shit, man. Two things I love to start the show off with. A whole lot of love. So, for our past groovers, thank you for tapping in. We appreciate you. Happy New Year, 2023. We're here all year long, going crazy, brazy, azy. Two, if you're joining us because of this episode, thank you. We would ever so appreciate it if you go and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Please, we need you. Join the Groovy Gang, the Groovers. And three, we are on all streaming platforms, so catch us on audiobooks, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Hold on, before we get into, why do you always shout out audiobooks first?
Trying to get that bag. And yeah, without a further ado, let me introduce this week. We got this week's guest. We got Curt, Lowkey Entertainment up in the motherfucking building, man.
What's up?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Not too bad.
I really like the fit. I was admiring the LeBron, but now that I get to sit in front of you, I really like the all green.
Thank you, man. I try. I try.
It's a good Sunday. I always start in this place with most podcasts about where you from and just how you got into what you were doing. But I kind of want to start with your history with music and your love for it, because for me, you're a person that is really passionate about music. I would say you are ahead, a real music kind of music nerd to say the least, respectfully. But you seem like you have a deep bag. But I'm curious where that love started for you.
I just always been listening to it. Just forever. I used to, when I was younger, 4 or 5, I used to dance to all type of music. My family would just play stuff, and I was just the one that get out there and do that type of stuff. So I just always been listening to it, and I had older cousins that played music, that was older, so I'm listening around them, and I just started liking to it, and
it exploded.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire. Are you originally from here?
Yeah, I'm from Seattle originally.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, I grew up around in the West Seattle area, Dale Ridge type stuff, but I moved off to Kent, Tuck Willis, and just branched off everywhere. So.
Oh, nice. How has it been to see kind of the evolution of our scene in the music space and just the development of the scene since you've been interested in a part of it?
Oh man, it's great. I like it. It's coming together. It's coming together every day, and I like it. Every year it's getting better and better. There's more artists coming out because shit is more than ever right now. I ain't never seen it like this. It's a lot going on. So I think this is a good time. It didn't used to be like that. It wasn't enough push from audience to crowds and people just around, but it's coming to be something. So I like to see it.
Well, that's fire. Yeah. Well, I also like and appreciate it because it allows us to elevate platforms and just tap into the city more. Have you always been more on the business side or interested in the business side of music, or were you at one point artist as well?
I tried to rap back in high school or after high school. I had some homeboys that was rapping, and I was just around them. So I tried it, but that wasn't for me. I was let me take a step back. I'm too shy to be in the scene and all that open and do all that extra stuff. So I'm going to take a step back and let them. So I just start pushing them as far as being a fan of them and trying to get them heard to everybody. And I was just doing that to around core people. We knew a bunch of people, but I knew a lot of people that they didn't know. So I'm just listen to these guys, just start doing stuff like that. So
that's fire.
Let me take the behind the scenes. I ain't that guy.
No, I'm very much jealous because that's always been my dream. Is I never wanted the podcasting is only because I couldn't get any of the other homies to be in my spot.
Yeah.
So my dream was always to have him and one of my other best friends do the show, and then I would just run the cameras and the lights. But I could never get them to commit to showing up. So I was just all right. Okay, exactly. So that's dope to be able to navigate, especially being confident knowing that where your strengths are and what you really want to strive in, because like it sometimes takes people a very long time to decide that like how they want to love a certain thing can't be that specific way as like being the star and being the main attraction. I feel like you're so involved without ever having to be like hold a mic or have to be famous. You know what I mean? You still allowed in the same rooms and garner the same respect without people having to be like, I guess I would say like obsessive, because that's kind of the fail, or like very in your space and things like that nature. Yeah. That's fire.
Yeah. I need to hear a hand clap for our brother, just because I too want to test that, like, to be so selfless and about community. I think we talk about it all the time on the podcast that, like, there, as much as we want the people who are on the forefront of the fame and the fortune to, be successful, there's also like the people in the background who are just as supportive as the people who create the culture,
Right.
You can, it's kind of like the art and the audience. And it's it really goes to show, because I see nothing but you sharing the next music that came out, who's recently dropped, who you're tagging people in posts, you're very involved with just the circulation of information with a lot of our artists, whether it be artists, creatives, our brands. You do it for, honestly, every level of the culture. And, it's amazing to have those kind of people and to put, we need, I feel like we need to put them on a pedestal just as much as, the next big thing, because it really takes a support and a village to make things happen. Mm-hmm. And, you're a very, very well example of that. I wanted to talk about how it's been, or I don't, excuse me, I don't mean to bring it up, but we have a lot of difficulty with a lot of our, artists in the game, and separating streets with our rap game. How do you feel it? How do you feel about it, being an outsider looking in? I'm not sure if we're involved, but how that reflects the rest of the community.
It just it reflects it bad, because it's hard to throw stuff. As far as like shows and events and all that type of stuff, it's tough to do that because everybody comes with their different crowds. As far as the music is cool, I mean, that's always going to be competitive. People do what they do and say their little. As far as that, I mean, I don't like to see it. I wish people can just keep it cool and come together as a collective and get this bag that's out there for the whole city. But people gonna do what they do. Eventually, they'll get over it. Eventually, I think, bro, and everything. Because I don't think it's that deep for it to be what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's nasty. Like there can be a lot going on out here if everybody just put the egos to the side and rock on.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, so for me, you've been a very avid 2000 baby like advocate, like in the scene, as far as I would say, even, I don't know originally whether you were like a part of his camp from the start. But for me, you've been like championing him and like really pushing before anyone really like knew who he was or really had the backing that he has today. How did you discover him? I don't know if you were the one too, but I know you've been like, from what I've experienced and like heard, you've been the biggest like voice being like, no, like everybody pay attention, everybody push this.
Nah, I didn't even know who he was. I found him on YouTube, just listening to somebody else, and one of his songs with Marco Money popped up. And I was just listening, and then 2000 Baby kept coming up. I'm like, where is it? Like, why ain't nobody talking? Where was it? Something just clicked. When I heard it, it hit me like, oh, this guy's a star.
Yeah.
So I just started throwing, I didn't know who he, I never met him before. Can of Paint.
You just saw it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, everybody needs to be pushing this guy. Like, he's going somewhere with this. Bro.
Yeah.
And then it just happened like that.
That's fire. How do you know someone's a star? Like 2000 Baby obviously is like you could see the drive, but like outside of him, like how do you gauge whether it's worth that like that Kurt stamp? You know what I mean?
I just be here. I hear it sometimes. A lot of people's stuff. I hear the potential when they're rapping and making music. Like they might not be there right away, but something in me just like, oh no, I could hear it if they get the right coaching and the guidance that they need to make the right music that they for their voice and types of like they can be. It's something I just hear. I don't know. I guess I just had an ear for it. That's what a lot of people have been telling me too. That's like where you just got an ear for music. Like you can hear the right. I don't know how or what. I think it's from listening to it.
Yeah.
For so long, like. I don't know.
Have you always been I know you originally said you were shy in high school, but have you always been able to like trust that gut feeling in your life and in your experiences, just knowing like that, like, what you hear and what you feel is like will go through to everyone, like that kind of that broader sense of like, I know this makes sense kind of feeling.
Nah, I got that way. That probably came maybe a couple years ago. I wasn't really doing that too well. So I just always stayed chill and humble about it. Like, nah, people don't like it, they don't like it. But I'm gonna keep putting it out there. Somebody gonna even like, why does this guy keep doing this? But, I didn't have that.
How has the change been for you? Originally being a reserved person to being able to like be a tastemaker, like a culture pusher.
No, the change has been crazy. It's real. I realized that I should have been doing it. Like probably if I'd have been doing it 8 to 10 years ago, would have been somewhere where I need to be right now. But it's cool. We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be right. But yeah, the change is real. It's real.
I love it. That's a real ism. I mean it. I only bring it up because that's a tall order to punch in. Like. Thinking one way and then being able to like grow out of it, it's not it doesn't happen overnight for everyone. I feel like it happens in all due timing. You found something that really spoke to you, and now you're able to translate it in the ways that you want to. So that's like that. The butterfly coming out of the cocoon part.
Right.
You as long as you let it. I wouldn't say fester it, but like grow within you, and then you're able to utilize a time in your life to be like, hey, this is the moment where I'm able to express it. That happens. Everyone doesn't have the same timeline. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like really. That's fire to me. That like you found it and you were like, hey, let me go and be supportive and like find the things that I love to do within, this community, within this creative background, and be able to let it flow within everyone else. Because I feel like a lot more people should be like that,
Right. That's really all we're missing, bro. If we got 100 of me, we'd be good.
We be going crazy. Probably 20. I'm not gonna lie to you. 20. A good 20 people just every day. Like, hey, this is what's going on in the region. That's why I commend it so much. Excuse me, because it's like it really goes to show that like that love really overcomes. Right. The community. I feel like if I can say it frankly, like everyone in the community industry is so guarded. They're like, oh, this person that I meet, like, oh, they're gonna. I don't know. They're going to be fugazi or faulty, They're going to be janksy. I'm like,
yeah.
They're going to do me something crazy. I don't know. But, what we're creating or the opportunity that's presented in front of us, it could be something bigger. It could be, we actually have talent. We actually have a seat at the table that, people come to this region, the Pacific Northwest, to come and live life beautifully, like take a couple hikes and a couple mushrooms and, I'm feeling like I can create a business model type shit, but the more people actually realize that, like, I can support one another. Oh, he's not going to, or they're not going to do me wrong. Like I have no reason for them to do me wrong, you know. It would be a lot more of like a supportive scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come pop out to your show, you know.
Right. That's nice.
You let me rock the stage, or you know, like we're at each other's music videos, you know, just like how the other regions are doing it.
Right.
We're so involved in each other's like come up that it could really solidify things, and the love just needs to be there. I feel like.
Right. That's all it is. Bro.
Excuse me, I'm over here chopping it up.
No, you're fine. Talk more. I wanted to ask, do you think being an A&R or trying to fill that role is a lost art? And do you feel like it is still worth doing in today's time?
Yeah, I do actually. I do. I think people need more of it because I think a lot of people have a bunch of people around them that's just like yes man. So it's just everybody's gonna be like, yeah, this is it. More A&Rs, you know, because A&R can usually be a stranger. You can just send somebody the music and be like, what you think about it?
Yeah,
and they'll give you the real because they really don't know you.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, I don't got no feelings for you, you know. So I can tell you the real and what you really need to do to work on. Some people need to do that and trust in A&Rs more, I think. So yeah, I do think it's a lost art as well. I think more people need to try to fill that role because a lot of people have an ear for music.
Yeah,
they just don't, you know.
They don't put their time and energy into it.
They think it's a lost art as well. That's why nobody's like, I'm not about to do that. That's a waste of time. You don't get no money from that. That's what everybody's thinking. You don't get no money from being an A&R, so nobody really wants to do that role.
Nah, I mean,
I was just agreeing with your guys' point because like, or even artists, they need A&Rs and like, you know, because they have so much on their plate, like trying to deal with everything that they're dealing with, but some of them don't get that, so they'll be overloaded. But go ahead, brother.
No. I was gonna say it's gone.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. I wanted to ask about seeing Royce go from artist now back into I don't know if he's done management before, but kind of like push the label and like kind of build that up. What's that like for you to see, and like are you a part of it in any way that you can speak on?
Yeah, I'm just really A&R for the whole B.C.N.F over there pretty much. They took a liking in what I was doing, so he was like, we're going to go make Kurt come over here and do. I've always been a fan of Choice, though. That's one of my favorite rappers from Seattle.
Yeah.
Since I first heard him, so I've always just been a fan, and I've been pushing him like he was one of the bros, even before I actually met him. So it was just,
nice.
And then I met him, and we just been rocking, and then, you know, he came back and started doing his thing, and he's like, "Man, what's up, bro? What you doing? Come on over and do your thing over here." So I just been rocking, but it's great to see. I like what he's doing now. We need more of that too.
Yeah,
more people that's seasoned in the game that, you know, have the leverage to come back and grab some young ones and show them the ropes and what it really look like.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, we need more people with the leverage as well. But there's a
very true.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like we live in a like we had Cameron Dean maybe like 6-7 months ago. Damn, that was a while ago. But he was just talking about like how he knows there's so many people that are from here that have like movie credits and like work on major motion pictures and like do all types of things that like originally were Washington based, but tend to, one, because of how our industry is kind of set up, and just like as you guys were speaking on, like the lack of love that it tends to be sometimes, kind of stops those people from coming back and being like, all right, let's ride this roller coaster here when I'm in LA or Miami or New York. And it's like, it's a different roller coaster, but it's a system that, you know, I can get on these rides and I know what the ticket will cost me here or there. Like here, it's kind of weird where it's like, it might cost you a lot less to do something major, but the amount of people or the hoops you have to jump through just to get that to happen, maybe just not even worth the time.
Right.
Which I always find so interesting. But yeah, to see Royce do it in a way that's like it to me, it gives light to like everyone should like find this form of business model to be like, you know, you've established yourself, you have your own success, you have your own name, like it's like it's nothing you have to do, but it's just something cool to be like, find whoever, and you know, it doesn't got to be everybody. Not everyone has to make it, but like find whoever you think is like fire and be like, all right, I'm gonna like open these doors. And like if you succeed for me open these doors, amazing, everybody wins. But like if you don't, you at least let the other person like because like me, I'm not gonna lie, me seeing 2000 Baby and Mike Jack and Mob like on the road is just like, if you are a rapper,
amazing.
You know, you should be you should be hungrier. You should be like, oh, it's fucking possible,
bro. They went to go turn up Atlanta,
bro,
and
you should be able to see that and like,
that's the home team, man.
Come on,
how do I do it? You know, like you should like, all right, let me send some music to Kurt. You know, like let me just like he may see it and be like, oh, this is not the one, but like it should make people see that like, not only trusting someone that is a vet in it, but also the ability of just like bigger people coming back and finding those like people that they like to grow with. Cause like it, to me, it's so beautiful to see like everybody has done their own work. And now someone who is like, you know, been around the world twice is able to be like, you know what, let's do this. You're doing your own shit. You're pushing your own energy. I know that if I put you in the spot, it'll only make everything beautiful, you know? So I really, really commend and really love what you guys are building and like really showing the city what is like so doable, just because it's like, you know, it takes a couple guys and be like, all right, you already have a buzz. Like you did all the heavy lifting. I'm gonna show a couple people that don't even know your face or may like have you downloaded and fucks with you, but like never seen you do a live performance. So like, I really, I want to commend it because it not only inspires me to want to figure out how to do bigger and better things and like find that person that will push this, but it makes me like other, in the way of just bringing up other podcasts and just like that inner community on our side of just like, oh, this is cool. Like if I can figure out, I don't know, the podcast version of like a panel or something like that, where it's like we can all kick it and talk and do our own version of just like bigging up us in a way like that. That's kind of what you guys have showed me personally, just with like how you are a community on Twitter, how it's like really transparent, pushing really, you know, which I really love and am inspired by for real.
Thank you,
bro. Absolutely.
We gonna let it.
Oh.
I can only back what brother is saying, just because it's just awesome seeing B.C.N.F like really open that door for those artists on the road right now. Just because, like, you know, it really just takes like someone who has the name to be like, hey, can we throw shows here? We're on tour. We got artists that have a buzz outside of Washington, like. These guys can hit the road and they get lit. Like, you know, the people are having fun, you know? So it's just beautiful to see. And just adding on brother's point. We are coming up on break time. So
you want to take a break? I gotta take a break anyway.
Groovy tapes. You know what it is. We'll see you in a few. All
right, bro.
I had to get to the record.
Sorry, engineer Steve.
30 seconds. Sorry about that. Groovy tapes, and we are back. We are back from the break. I wanted to ask you, man, what's been the hottest music to you out lately? You can give it like 6 months, maybe a year, if you want to go back that far. Just like recent takes of yours.
The hottest lately?
Man,
it's so much. I've been bumping that Mafia a lot. I still been bumping that All Go album, the Alkaline. That was I've been bumping that Bass Kids.
Yeah, I really like that project.
What else? I mean, you know, anything B.C.N.F, that's always in rotation. So
yeah.
Kind of biased there.
That's good. It's good. It's also good music, so it's like it's a good vice to have. Game 2 is still. It's like I'm very upset it's not on DSPs. I was telling
it's
him
on there now.
It's on there now.
Yeah, it's on
okay.
there now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on.
Thank you for telling me that.
Come
I'm
on.
slapping it. That made me really excited. Like that that was
You imagine when I heard it, I was in there just watching him. He did a couple songs. I'm like, bro, what do you want? It's crazy.
You know, it's like Royce is so interesting to me as like a rapper, just because he's a rapper's rapper, but when you meet him, it's so like he's so nice and inviting to you. So you're like sometimes you forget that like like he's like he's so technical but so fun, and like you could feel the LA influence, but also like he's like also could be a New York rapper out of like 10 years, like 10, 15 years ago. So it's like that's why I was like, Game 2 is so fun and so refreshing, and it's just like it's a great pocket to be like as like a star, you know, like as I would say as like the adult in like the game. It's just such a refreshing perspective, and just like a way of thinking as far as just like how he sees the playing field. Like I feel like when he made a song on crypto, I was like, man, I gotta buy. I have no crypto right now. I gotta go buy a little bit of crypto.
That's exactly what he did. Bro. Like, damn, I'm sloughing.
You know, gotta listen to the OGs when they give you like such free game, and in a way that's like it's still digestible. It's still good music. It's still like I played it 5 times. The day I saw you tweet it out, I was like, oh, this is out. And then like I got YouTube Premium, so I don't have to listen to ads. You know, as this shit goes up, I'm like thousands and thousands of views. You're not getting my AdSense. I'm good. I can run this back. That's really that leads me to ask, like, what's it like getting music early? Because I hate it. I don't like music that I like, especially. I'll say this in a specific way. If I can't have it in my phone, like if I hear some shit, like we've interviewed artists that play me some fire shit. Like basically the project Mike Jack and Maker made that came out earlier this year, we heard it when we interviewed Mike Jack almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Cousins, I think.
Yeah, and I was like,
that was hard too.
Like, when's this coming out? And he was like, oh yeah, we putting it together.
Hella long.
It came out a year later. I was like, brother, like I needed these songs.
Yeah, see, I be having all the songs.
See, okay, you move smart.
Yeah, I got all the songs. So I like getting the unreleased. To just play it early, I love that.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, hey, start sending it to my phone. Don't just play it here. Because I be sick. I be like, then I'm like, I feel bad on the back, and I'm like, I should just text them and ask for the song. But then
I be asking, like, if I play me a little snippet, I'd be like, man, send me that. I'm trying to bump this right now, roughs and everything. You don't even gotta be. I need all that.
Yeah,
all that.
There's just that that unwritten code. I think that's my only gripe with getting unreleased is like, you know, you can't post or like, you know, play around others.
Oh yeah.
I won't ever send it though. But like the not like banging, you know, sliding through the traffic, you know, listening to the homies unreleased.
I'd be so that's why he can't send me any of his music beforehand, because I'd be mad, because he never know when he drop it. He'll be like, he probably have 45 songs in his phone that's like could be 2 projects, 3 projects, and he's like, you know, I don't
see, you gotta drop.
No, I know. I've been really getting into that new habit.
It's close.
I'm about to start doing that. I got some songs, some people. I'm like, yeah, all right, keep playing. I'm about to make some cover art.
I tell him all the time. So we always exactly. We always joke because like he'll post some music and shit like that, and I'll be like, oh, this is fire. Or he'll be like, oh, or I'll play his music and he'll be like, oh, it's fire. And I'll be like, oh, I know the guy who makes it. That's my homie. Like, I'll get you like the fee for in between. So like, if you ever see me out there, you see me with somebody that you know, I'm charging you for the middleman, but it's good. I'll get you the song. I'll get you to play anything you need. You see me with Trav, I'll get you the placement. There's a middleman fee and then there's his fee. 2 different fees. But if you good for it, I got you.
The upcharge.
You're getting the upcharge. That's why you should send me your music.
Upstream.
You're gonna be on a whole album you don't even know about.
Right there.
I was sending you your ass cap and be like, "Hey, brother, this is what you made this motherfucker."
Hey, I need it. I need to put my music in movies and TVs. Yeah, sell my shit. Go ahead.
Hey,
go
don't
ahead.
tell me that. I'm gonna be. Hey, bro, we gonna run.
My likeliness and shit is just out there. I'm gonna be like some new AI. Pop up.
I'll make sure the checks come through.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to ask, what do you think we need? Like, because I know there's so many. That's like a layered question, and there's so many things to it in the scene. But like, as you see so many artists getting like their establishment, like really setting their foot and putting their own money behind themselves, what do you think is that missing force for like us to be able to do it? I would say like a La Russell sort of like kind of like grassroots, really getting a push where you could kind of do whatever you want here.
Should get a team. That's really what the La Russell. He got a bunch of people. He got a team with him. Everybody got their specific job and know what you do, and you good. You can just worry about rapping.
Facts.
Everybody else gonna take care of the rest of the stuff and come with your ideas and all that. But I think everybody just need a team and unity. Come together, bro. Unity is really all it's gonna take. I believe.
Oh, I feel that.
I love that.
Do you? What would you give the? I would say what would be the best advice for finding a team in like your sense? Because I know you've probably seen a lot of people like come and go and intermingle. But what tips would you give to like if someone wanted to join B.C.N.F? What would be a good like baby step trial for that to happen? I know that's a loaded. That's such a loaded question, but like, it's the best example I could give in real time.
I mean, I can't really give you no advice on that one. And just work ethic though, for real though.
Yeah,
that's really though. Just outwork the competition. That'll get you wherever you want to be for real. So I'm gonna give him that one.
Facts.
Outwork everybody.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you outwork everybody. Somebody will come find you. So
yeah,
you don't even gotta worry about B.C.N.F.
Yeah.
Outwork everybody.
I love that. That's a real joke. Hey, if you try to be race, outwork everybody.
Outwork everybody.
That's tough here though.
If I could answer your question, brother, I think I love the unity too. I think the city needs to back it as much as the community does. There's that huge disconnect between it. There's a huge gap between how the city sees us and how our community sees us. And
that's true.
And if the city realizes you can throw safe events if you enforce like safety,
that's all.
and you get involved in much of a higher level. There's these motherfucking private guardsmen and even the police, even though as much as we don't want to involve the police, if the police did their job to create a safe environment for a event, you could have the Showbox Sodos sold out with hip hop. You could have the WAMU sold out with all our hip hop acts. Everyone from the state, whoever is representing us in the best way, or really working hard to get to that point. We could sell out these venues. Tacoma Dome, you could have that our communities within those spaces. And I think once they get to the point of you need to support this. This is something that is the reason why our region is so cool and why people love it so much. It would flow like the rest of how we see the other major cities.
Facts,
getting to that point of we want to be LA, like LA so bad. Oh, we want to be another Atlanta, but it's like we are there. We are amazing in our own rights. It's just I don't think our city sees us that way. They see only the negativity that was shown throughout history. But there's a lot of positivity that is within that's overclouded by that negativity. Like they don't understand that this is one of the this is definitely turning into a fashion capital of the of America, even close to being the world. I'm gonna talk my shit on our brands, our involvement with the entertainment scene. Hollywood loves Washington, and they get their respective rights of being involved in they can shoot anywhere in the city.
Right.
They can shoot a scene to a fucking rom-com, anywhere they want to. They can lease Pike Place Market for that shit. But artists can't do it. Creatives can't do it. People can't throw art shows, things like that. So I think that's what we need as much as what we've already been talking about.
No, that's it.
We don't. We don't live in a city that. I feel like we don't live in a city that even does like artist interaction things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would say our tech boom has kind of washed away. Like, I guess being a kid here, I saw a lot of people being able to like do artist things and like even on like the graffiti walls. Like there was so many more aspects to art installments. I just don't think we are like as a whole as our music scene. Like even I would say like the rock shit gets pushed a lot more, but I also would say like the city doesn't really give a fuck about that either. Like I would just say like they're
right.
Like our bigger acts, our bigger rock acts, our bigger those environments have kind of like
faded for sure.
So I don't feel like the arts here are pushed as much as they used to be as like when we were when I first moved here, and then that whole like, you know, seeing hoopers being able like multi-talented, see graffiti artists like everywhere, and it's just being like kind of a popular culture. Like everyone always says the Renaissance of Capitol Hill, but just like having areas where artists were allowed to like congregate and kind of just like mix and match. There's less of those places, and it's really like I would credit like really the businesses that have been allowed to open, like the Heart to Hearts, like Hayes doing that, like the Paradises and like the Owl Fours and obviously ETCs. But those are like, what, 5 brands that have to hold the weight of like the entire...
thousands.
You know, like the
thousands,
entire
hundreds
weight
of thousands.
creatives.
Right.
It's so much.
So
you're so right.
It's so tough for like, you know, it's tough for a small business to be like, hey, we got to hold it down for the entire art scene. So like we don't lose it here, you know? So yeah, I would agree. It's definitely that like the city doesn't give a fuck, but also like they have really shifted off of like, why do we, you know, we'll figure out who's Spotify is like booming, or like that's really what it's based off. But as far as like corporate installments or Amazon, like those things were like, when they needed the approval, they were much more active. But now they're like, we have like 6 tech companies that don't do small events here.
We started hitting off, or we used to hit on the art, but now they hit on the tech.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's just do all this tech bullshit that like they like to do.
Get out there.
Oh, why don't we have a Nintendo World? Like,
I mean, because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
I wanted to ask her, how old are you?
33.
Okay. So you're in like I would say you're in like Flox era. Like you guys watched a lot of the scene when it was like really cool. Yeah, I would say. What's your favorite hoop era as far as, because you got to watch a lot of it? So
my favorite hoop era was probably the Twins, Rod at Rainier Beach. That era was nice, and then the Franklin Vanoy and Peyton Siva era. It was nice.
Vanoy Overton was crazy.
It was crazy. That was tough. Yeah, I liked them guys. It was nice.
Yeah.
Those are both ill times in the city.
Yeah, Laden Rod was ridiculous.
I was a little kid, so I didn't understand the magnitude of like of those events. Even speaking on the arts, but just on how huge hoop was.
Yes.
For us as a city, like there's college recruits in these gyms every weekend. Yeah. And Loudon Rod is over here going crazy.
I miss that, like that when everyone was going to a game. Like there was like, all right, this is Friday night for like most of the people. Like, yeah, there's like everyone's going to, like the adults are going somewhere else, the kids are going somewhere else, but like till 10, this is where we're all at right now. Like that's sort of like I guess the city involvement. It was really like something that was like a lot more culturally representative here. And like I wouldn't say it's like lost, because obviously like Beach, Garfield, there's still a bunch of schools that produce great talent. I just feel like the culture of like everyone going out of their way to go watch this one game, or everybody going to state, no matter like you don't even got kids that play. You know, like it's still that like that thing that we're doing. Yeah.
Like, do they even still have late nights? Like I've been like, I asked my little brother. I'm like,
that's a lost art.
I'm like, where'd you got? Or like, you know, he's kicking with his friends. I was like, you guys going to late night? And he looked at me hella confused. He was like, what's late night?
Yeah, they don't even do
I was
that.
like, bro, you guys don't do late night anymore?
Great experience. I watched a lot of people get their ass bust on that red, that terrible red floor at Raider Beach.
Oh man, the concrete gym.
A lot of people get their ass, like dunked. Like that was because like
Watching from the top floor.
I'm really a transplant, so it's like that era of Washington is so real. It's so dear to my heart. Like even though
no one had phones, no social media, so
you knew where you was meeting up.
Exactly. You knew what you knew what your Friday nights were. You know, like you knew, and like I got to see so many of like the older homies like kick it. You know, like it's not so. Like I'm not like outside in those spaces where I get to like mingle with like that in between age of like Washington kids where it's like they're doing bad shit, but also I was still like doing bad shit. So it's like you get to watch on like the next generation grow. It was really cool to be able to like see like as an 8-year-old see 16 and 20-year-olds like dunking, but also like mingling, talking to girls like that community aspect, like eating and cooking. It was just like it was such more accessible to what like cool was, I feel like, and like being able to like absorb what was going on, but like not being old enough really to be involved. So you literally just had to watch yeah. You know, like I couldn't hoop. Like I couldn't go to late night and hoop. Like I wasn't big enough. I didn't have any older cousins that was going to fight it.
And
like,
we wasn't hooping crazy to where we could like, you know,
get on the floor.
Keep up on the runs. Like, bro, everyone in Seattle was hooping, bro. Like,
yeah. So it was like, I missed that time, but what I would say to that to move it forward is like that's kind of like that era of basketball and just community aspect I feel like has been very flipped into like the music scene now. Like as much as it's not so perfect and there's so many like there's a lot of hoops still to jump through. I really love how we're able to see that kind of be pushed with the artists that are being able to reach some success and kind of just like intermingle and like we always have an artist up here that's like, oh, I'm working with so and so, or just like I'll invite people into the rooms and like I really love what Mafi did with the Ivan Schutz situation where he like, you know, he's very much in the know, very much on his business, and he probably knew that connection was happening or in some way, and like instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna do this for myself and it's good, like he was one of the first people that I saw like post like, hey, Ivan's doing this for your music. It's $100. Tap in. And like,
you do that?
Didn't cost him nothing. And it was like, then you get to see, I saw like 13, 14 people be able to eat and show up.
Going crazy.
Bro, so it's like, so that element of like, I feel like of that lost community and city aspect, I feel like the musicians have like waved the flag because they come from that aspect of watching it happen in like late night runs and like Garfield versus Rainier Beach rivalries and just certain like elements that like real community. I feel like that was the first time I saw so many black people in an environment in Washington where it was just like us having fun and just like, you know, like talking shit, yelling at like it was just an era of like
energy was different.
Yeah, it was a good time to like be outside, but also I'm kind of glad I was really young, so I was like really just impressionable. Like it really just gave me like sauce and really was just like game to soak up. No, that was a beautiful thing.
Now, let's get a hand clap for fucking a beautiful era in Washington. And if I may add before we move on, just I think that was the golden era of just how our culture blossomed. It made it comfortable for us to like dive into different avenues and become passionate about things that like were right in front of us.
Right.
Because what an unreal time.
No, it was definitely amazing, especially being a kid and just really watching it. That was. Really
we was outside every day.
Every day.
It's so I saw
on bikes.
One of us has a phone. Only one of us.
Kind of has a phone.
Yeah, kind of.
You got a little bit of minutes on it. Only
You
for
know?
emergencies.
Can't use them up. Just fucking moving around.
Free after 9.
Before I move on, I want to touch on Tavares didn't have a phone until junior year of high school, so he would you couldn't find him for years. Like there was years where he would just like come back with stories and just be like, yeah, bro, I was on the bus, I fell asleep, and I just woke up at the transit center and had to get home. So it's just like, that was Friday night for me. I couldn't hit nobody because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm phoneless.
Hey, you guys told me you was at this spotty, bro, and then I'm lost. Find them. I'm hurt. They're drunk as shit. They're drunk as fuck. Where we been at, brother? And I'm over there crying. I was like, bro.
I was lost to Mars those days. We used to, go to, me and a friend of ours used to go to Spody's every Friday. And he didn't have a phone. So we'd be like, we're going here at this time. He wouldn't leave school early. Because he went to Beach, I went to Nova, the homie went to Franklin. So like, me and the homie that are Franklin are the
already next to each other.
Closest to each other to the north. So we would always be like, hey, just leave your last class, meet bro at Franklin, and then shoot to me, and then we're up north. Nah, bro, I'm doing AP. I'm doing like he was really studious, but would come through and be mad at us because he'd be like, bro, I slid all the way to the north, and this is like no phone. 5 p.m. bus traffic, so he sat on the bus for an hour and a half.
I'm not going unless I talk to somebody. Fine, I'm not doing.
It was bad. I was a hopeful man. I'm about to get lit with the brothers. We're getting lit, brother.
He cursed us out one day. It was like, hey, guys, fuck you. Stop inviting me places. I'm not coming. Like, every time I come, you guys aren't there. Fuck you guys. Don't do it no more. Don't talk to me about it. Don't bring it up. Like, he was like, I'm good. I'm good. It's over.
Unless you guys coming this way and smoking, I'm not for it.
It's over.
What makes you hopeful for the scene? Like what do you see on the horizon that you like hope continues?
The push. Just everybody pushing. I like how everybody's dropping music. And it's quality, it's good quality music. So I just more of that.
Yeah.
I feel like the more of that, people would start coming to liking to it. Like, oh, there's really something. It's real up there.
Yeah.
So I just think that's all it is. It's just more music, more quality music.
Yeah. I saw you talking to Gina Views on Twitter the other day. What made you ask her if you think kind of snitched?
I be watching No Jumper.
Yeah.
And they was talking about it on there. I just be bothering her to see if she gonna respond. I don't even half the time. I don't think she gonna respond. I just be saying little shit. If I'm watching her interview and they on the subject they're talking about, that's when I hit her and ask her that. That was hella funny. I just be trying shit just to see if people.
So I don't see I know you like reach out a lot, and when people are like send music and things like that, how often do you get like interactions and responses and like able to build those relationships for like yourself and your own artists?
It don't really be happening too often. I just be throwing the ball out there. Not too much yet. Ain't really too much of a bite yet. So I'm still gonna keep pushing though. So.
No, facts. I feel like you're in the know, and you have great communication skills, especially about what's going on and the knowledge to be like, ooh, you need a point of reference. Like, here's the music, here's their old shit that like you see where the start to the finish is. I feel like you are very like, as I talked on earlier, like you're very studious, very in your backpack as far as like the music here and the scene here.
Yeah, I've been listening to it for a while. I've been a local fan for a while.
Yeah.
So I just been trying to keep up, trying to be the guy that like, nah, this guy you need to know. I'm just trying to put everybody on. That's all I'm trying to do.
No, I love that. We're gonna get you a hand clap again, just because of all the isms we've been talking about. Plus, you definitely planted some seeds in the Groovy tapes too, because I'm always looking for who's the next person you got your eye on, and then I know we talked it over Twitter, but you mentioning 2000 Baby was honestly amazing, because I think that week you had you had mentioned it, me and Corey had the conversation, which was unreal, kind of unreal, like synchronization, because you're like, man, he needs to get on a platform, another interview. And I was just like, man, like we were like, we should talk about it. And I think Corey made the play too. He was like, yep, let me hit a 2000 baby. And it all came together. So I was like, hey, this is actually amazing. And I love your involvement. I think that is something so profound, because it takes a lot to be involved in that. And to put yourself out there and to, basically like, hey, like take notice of this. Like,
yeah, that's all I be trying to do. That's all. Just keep an eye out for this. That's it, bro. I just trying to put everybody's ear to this. Like, there's something here. You can hear something here. You might be able to put them in a position I can't. Like, do your thing. I just trying to connect the dots, man. There's a lot of some. I'll be like, I can't help you, but you might be able to, or I can find you some this and here, and then that's all it is, man.
No, that's fire. That is what culture is.
Right.
You're definitely a person that like understands how culture moves and like how pieces on the board are supposed to like, get ahead and get captured. That's very inspiring. Do you hope to like be a part of like your own label? I know that you're part of B.C.N.F. Like, do you hope to like branch, like grow in this field and be able to like start a label where you take your talents of scouting and noticing talent early and be able to actually like back it and put pieces on the board as well?
For sure. That's definitely on the agenda for sure. I be looking at the QCs and the Coach Ks, and I love to have a little quality control up under me, just something like that. So for sure,
no, that's fire.
I could do that. Yeah, that'd be dope.
That's fire. When
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when you lived in Kent, did you ever do any racing?
Nah, I think I went one time. It was too much.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's a lot of engine revving, and
Yeah, I'm like, it's too loud.
I'm like, I would rather just look at all these cars. Like,
Right.
can we just post up, play some music, get a grill out real quick, and
Too
like
many
look at
people.
these nice cars?
I'm too lucky.
I
for
got
that.
burgers going for $2.
Yeah, right.
How you feeling, brother?
I feel amazing. I feel like that people really got to know Kurt and just how he not only influences the community and really is like a champion for us, but has his hand in everything. And I know there's things that we probably didn't even discover that he's like pushing your favorite artist or like your favorite music video or something that like you love that you don't even know that he's playing a hand in, which I love because like that is the scene. Like we need more people that are like pushing shit that you have no idea, that you might catch 6 months from now, 8 months from now, and you're like, fuck, like, oh yeah, we were working on that 2 years ago,
Yeah.
You just
That's
saw it
been in the
today,
works.
yeah, that's been 2 years in the work. I don't even like to talk to people about it. So I want
love
you,
it.
I really just want you guys to like, if you see Kurt tweet something, put something on his page, tap the fuck in because it'll be the biggest thing. His ear to music is amazing. His attention to detail is something I love, and I really like. You are someone I look for as far as like as I do my job. I pay attention. You're someone that I'm like, ooh, what are we watching? What's over here? Like, all right, let me click these links real quick. Like, I may not retweet, I may not like, but I'm like, I see something that you say. I'm researching. I'm doing the back end of it because I just know that you are already doing the research and you're doing the listening. And this is something you are very knowledgeable about, as well as like I know that you've foresee. You know what? I can very much tell that you are in the process of most things and don't share unless you know it's like a good or it's a genius thing. And like I feel like that's your superpower. Like you can tell something that is like 3 years ahead, 5 years ahead, where in seconds, which I feel like most people lack that ability of just like, now this works,
Yeah, that's real. Thank you, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time. This has been an amazing conversation. I've learned a lot and been very inspired during it.
Oh, I love it. One last hand clap before we go. KWJT, you've been grooving with the South, man. We got Kurt, we got Corey, and you got Tavares.
Yes, sir.